infrastructure which can be redimensioned, which can be updated to reflect current needs. And we have game mechanics that can be adapted to different sorts of audience. We're also thinking about a special version for children. So that's our project.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No? I'm just wondering what are your plans for the implementation? How easily can it be at Der Spiegel? How long will it take?
I think the implementation will take some time, of course, but it's not a problem to implement it within our organization, because you have to do some design work, of course, you have to do some programming, but it's not that complicated. So I think it can be done in 1 month or something like this.
Okay. So thanks a lot again, and now it's time for F.A.Z.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we are F.A.Z. Thank you all for being here with us. When we thought about this project, it was the days when the European Court of Justice ruled that you can get rid of your Google search results if you don't like them. And this was when my colleague said, oh, I don't know what they know about me exactly. I haven't looked for quite some time. And another colleague said, I know what they have about me. I know they have some chess games that I lost. I would like to get rid of them. So this is why we came up with Data Digger. Data Digger helps you dig out your worst data from the net, and it helps you to promote your best deeds. You can search your name, you can have a look at the topics that the internet knows about you, you can have a look at the exact search results, and then you can go on to ask Google to delete it or to promote it on Facebook. So let's have a try. I, for example, So, in the meantime, I can tell you about the technique that we have behind this, because this is not something that you can see. What we are doing is we are checking the Google API for the search results, taking all the search results and using the API as a taxonomy service in order to do automatic tagging. Then we use those tags to cluster topics and present those topics according to their importance. It works. The jury side, it works on ours too. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on the big screen now. But what we are very happy about is that there is no fake data in it at the moment. It works just the way it can work later on, because it automatically takes all those search results and helps you find and get rid of those things.
Is it online? Can someone else show it on?
No, unfortunately, you need a Java machine, which we do not have access to here at the moment. We can show it on this. In the meantime, I can answer some questions here.
Just a question on the strategy, maybe. You see this envision this incorporated into, say, F.A.Z as a service, or how do you see it running independently? And if you see how do you expect other services to be programmed more?
We really think about including it into our website. We had a short conversation with our internal chief yesterday. He was here, as you know, and he said, I want to have this on the website. To be honest, it needs some fine-tuning in dealing with the tagging at the moment before we think we can launch it, but then it's finished.
I'm wondering how it's removing stuff of Google about people and journalism.
The journalism in this case is helping people, and the journalism in this case is showing people individually what is out there about them. I think one of the main benefits of online journalism is you cannot just research something and show one graph which has to fit all users. This is something we could do in print before, but what we can do now is we can take our work and help people in their individual problems.
So if there's an article about me in the F.A.Z and I don't like it, so would you support me removing that from Google Index?
If you don't like it, you have the right.
No.
You have the right of removing it from the Google Index. That's what the European Court of Justice ruled. Yes. No, I do admit the legal questions are not finished at the moment. But we have talked to several lawyers about this in the last time, and many of them think that you have a lot of right in this area. Of course, there will be court proceedings to come to fine-tune this right, but we as editors and the lawyers that we have spoken to think this right will be very much changing in the landscape.
All right. So thanks a lot. I can tell you it's working. No, it is really working, and once we deliberate, you will have the opportunity to test it. It's really working. First thing, and second thing, we will have a Google speaker tonight, and so if you've got a question, we'll be very happy to answer. So let's go to the next team. It's Spiegel Online. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can see something. Perhaps you know these figures there. Thank you. So these are the 5 personas you have met in the first project of Der Spiegel already. We also want to use them because we want to have 2 applications that can be connected, but that also work apart from each other. So if you have done and played the news game before, you already know your persona, but you can also use our application to choose one of them. So our approach is the following. Thank you. We want to do something on the filter bubble. It's like a paradox. Like Socrates said, I know that I know nothing. To be a really enlightened and knowing citizen of the online world, you have to know that you don't see everything that is out there. You have to know that you serve and live in a filter bubble there. So the problem is that we don't know what we don't see, and that most of the people there don't even know that they can't see anything, can't see everything. We want to do something about it, and we want to do it with the website Spiegel Online, because we think that this is the perfect playground to show it, because Spiegel Online is 100% editorial composed and 0% custom tailored, except for the editing cost, which we already will be explained by the group of OKFM. Normally the site looks the same for every user. We want to change it.
So the application will be as follows. It will first give you a short introduction for all of these personas. So you can choose one, or you already know who you are. So then you would choose, for example, Tessa, who is 17 years old and shares everything with everybody because she's on Facebook and that's her life. So yeah, the next step will be leaves in the bubble, and we can show you the prototype now. We have the site from yesterday here, and there are 5 buttons for the personas, and if you click on that's Tessa, for example, you get a sign that this is the site for Tessa, and you get another layout for the Spiegel Online first homepage with the top news. And also different ads, and you get a different, composition of the topics at the top. And you can click from user to user there, from Kai who is interested in cars and in financial issues. And this prototype is of course composed by us, but we have also predefined the topics that are interesting for these users and the amount of filtering that the site will do, so that we can implement the application when we are at home at the Spiegel, and this should be not really a big problem because the infrastructure will take that. So we try to keep it as simple as possible to show our users what FreeDebugging means, and just we'll use our content on a daily basis. So the next steps, perhaps. The next step will be to show the user some reasons and to explain why he or she saw different things on the homepage, how the filter bubble really works, and how it worked in this special case. And we also, of course, want to give them some articles about it that they can learn what really is the background. And our data model will be very simple because step 1 will be to capture the data on a daily basis. Step 2 will be processing, just predefined criteria we will take to choose the topics for the 5 personas, which is not a big thing for every day, and the output is the thing that you just see. Thank you so much.
Chance do you see that there will really be a host button on the Spiegel for quite some time?
I think we will have to give it some kind of underruler or some kind of marker that this is not the real Spiegel Online. Perhaps Spiegel Online has to be changed in a bubble burst or something. But I don't know. I think if this is clear and visible, there's a big chance because our colleagues in the Netzwelt really support us in this topic.
Great. Thanks a lot. Now it's time for DBA News Lab.
Okay, so this is a logo we have built the service. Because everybody is being spied upon, we know that, but you don't really know how your data is traveling through the internet. So loot is signify that you are being looted, your data is being looted by an agency. So basically, as I said, we are the only project that focuses not on commercial side of data protection, but I would say on the political side, and not on the companies that collect your data lawfully, or more or less lawfully, but on the other side, on the agencies. And so you can see who's listening in, and we have built this as a browser plugin. We'll demo this later. It's working on this browser. It's a bit complicated, and so we had to build a back-end, front-end infrastructure. We'll demo that later. And so, actually, you can see where your data is being routed. Maybe you're aware, everybody's aware of the fact that if you visit a German website, maybe your data is being routed through the US, then through the UK, or through other parts. But you have no way of really seeing what's happening. So your users get, in our experience, they get this sense, okay, surveillance is everywhere. I don't know if I'm being surveyed or not. And I don't know where the data is traveling. And that's a problem we think we can address with the service. And we can show really who's listening in. And of course, we want to make it very unobstructive. We don't want to disturb you while you are surfing the web. And also think that the gamification would be nice. So to calculate the score, how much have you been spied on today? This is a loot score, and this is something you will not see right now in the demo because it's right. Okay, Paul on the demo. So Paul is now opening the website of Gazprom. This is an actual browser, not a slide or something like that. It's Gazprom. You know the. This is like the eye, right? So you open. Go ahead, fire ahead. So while he's opening his website, this computer, the plugin is communicating with the server, which would be my laptop on the desk. The other side of the sandwiches. And as you can you scroll? Okay. No, you can't. You can't. Okay. What we didn't expect. I mean, visiting a Russian website, of course, what we didn't expect is that the data would be routed through San Francisco, which is something that is happening right now. So this is the trace route. This is called trace route. Well, the technical people know it, of course. And it's the route the data is actually has taken right now to travel from the Gazprom website to our computer in Berlin. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Now back to the slides. Right. Of course, there are many things missing. The route of the data should be animated, and we should be mapping the agencies that are listening in. So if you don't remember that it is called GCHQ, and it shows you can see that. And have an alert for unusual routes. This is should be useful if you're a journalist, for example, and working in some foreign country where you don't know where the routes go. And colors for encrypted routes, so that you can really see encrypted data. Of course, it's harder to listen in. But on the other side, it's kept for more years by the agencies. Okay, so.
Short question, 5 seconds would be enough.
Yeah.
No.
We see this as a last point. Yeah, we see this as a service for our customers. We provide we of course every German office in Germany is our customer, and we see this as a service for we can roll out them. And they may want to roll out the images of their leaders. B2B being the first phase, yes, yeah.
Alright, it's time for open the recommendation. Friedrich has promised me to dance to the stage, so I'm really looking forward to the presentation.
Okay, I came to dance now. I'm really bad at dancing though. Okay, let's see. Are we getting there? It's always the right one. We've got it on one side, and we've got it on both sides. Maybe you need to reload it a bit more. Alright, so our thing is called, we used to read the newspaper, but now the news reads us. And someone just before pointed out that basically doing data privacy hackathon at a news organization does have like a likely schizophrenic aspect. If this hack day was really, really successful, everyone in this room would be out of business within a couple of days, right? So there's a certain kind of schizophrenia here. We love to think about kind of data privacy of being a problem of the NSA or being a problem of Facebook and Google, but really news sites are part of the problem in this case, even though we love writing articles about data protection and these topics. So let's go down and let's start reading an article maybe about data protection. We actually did a little story here. So for example, I wanted to go online and read a little bit about my privacy and how true it is. And I'm reading this article, something is wrong. There's all these little things coming in. What are they? Oh, right, it's the trackers that are on this website. Actually, Gary has 1 hour from prize here. I would like to give a round of applause for the 59 different sites being called for every website open on online. No applause? Very shy applause here. Maybe we can do the same thing on Constantnet. Always be nice to the host. Oh, Foggy Bob is here. Who else is there? It's not alone. There's other people as well. So we have quite a number of trackers happening here. There's something neat going on. You can see, as we say on this page, more and more things get contacted. This data, by the way, comes from a service called Mozilla Lightbeam. It's a browser plugin you can do to kind of track what third-party websites are being called when you open up the page in your browser. And just so that we don't seem unfair, let's go up and call up another website. What about Spiegel here? Hey friends. So yeah, Foggy Bob, as always, it's always good friend. Metrics is here. Facebook obviously gets informed. Everyone kind of gets a piece of the pie. So we have quite a lot of good information going on here. So we've kind of seen this, what's actually happening when we call a website, and most of the time it's completely invisible to us. But what's kind of the system standing behind that? What's kind of the more systematic aspect? What's happening really is there are listening posts on the internet. And these listening posts are working for the advertising companies, for tracking companies, metrics companies, content delivery networks, all these different types of networks. And you can see here in the middle there are the listening posts. On one side you see the news sites, on the other side you see the companies that are trying to get this personal data of you visiting a news site. So if, for example, you open the internet, you can see that there's a connection going virtually anywhere on the internet. If, on the other hand, you go over to Google, you can see that you cannot really search the web without your usage data, your tracking data ending up with Google. So smaller companies here, we've colored the companies by what kind of legal framework they operate in. Red companies are based in the US, yellow companies are EU companies, and the dark ones are German companies. So you can actually see a bit of where on the planet your data is now being processed. And I think that to some extent, there's this old saying about the internet, right? You're not paying for the product, you're probably out of the product. And there's always going to be this amount of advertising happening on the web. But maybe this number of trackers, something has gone out of balance here. The contract that I, as a newsreader, am making with you as people who provide me with a news website doesn't say that I'm implicitly agreeing with 59 different terms of service with all of these advertising companies. So maybe we need to find a new compromise here. Maybe we need to make sure that the tracking is done by the news organization that I'm visiting, and that then they get on to third parties, but I'm agreeing to the terms of service of that news organization and not 59 different services. So maybe we need to orient ourselves with Facebook. Facebook, actually, if you go to the website, the only service you call are Facebook. So here's up for privacy on Facebook. Not something you very often. So in conclusion, I just did my true approach. So there's always a smart button tracking you.
Could you just out of curiosity, actually Tagesschau, I want to see which they are tracking?
They're doing a nice job. Also, Bild and Book up here, they're also not too bad. Bild and Book is my favorite media outlet, obviously. lots of Google, but not much else. Pakistan actually does a reasonable job. I think when I went to their website, I clicked on some Google links that I turned out of this because they're deactivated by default. Any other questions? Yes. So I've tried to resolve. We've tried to kind of take the host names and join them together for kind of major companies. I mean, Google, you've got YouTube, you've got DoubleClick, you've got all kind of different YouTube CDNs, all this kind of traffic.
And the size of the thread correlates with what?
With the number of inbound or outbound functions.
Great, so thanks a lot, and now it's time for right center.
Today I will give the presentation in English. Yeah, that's what we did. We found a problem. A problem no one of the smart developers here can solve. It's a problem. It's really a problem.
I believe it's not a real pitch session if there's no technical problem.
Time isn't running.
What's happening next?
You need a computer. Schattenspiele.
A lot of pictures, so it will really be sad. How to improve curiosity.
Command F1.
Yeah. Okay. It's a problem you can't solve if you don't accept cookies. That won't help. It's a problem we'll solve. And the most shocking fact, you don't even have to use the internet to leave digital footprints. Our problem is surveillance, video surveillance. It's an increasing topic in all regions of the world. Cameras are hard to avoid. Nobody knows exactly where the cameras are. This is an invention of a US company. It's a street light that can record video and sound. You won't see that in 10th Street. Video surveillance can recognize faces, can track people over several hundred kilometers. We look for behavior in the public. So it's really a thing to think about. I give you here sentence of a data protection officer. And this is the point why we said, why not try to visualize where CCTV is. Our idea is to do it in a way that will gain, hopefully, a lot of user engagement, that will inform users how much CCTV operations are spread, and hopefully it will increase the interest for and the awareness for video surveillance. You see the screenshot of the smartphone app. People can upload photos of cams, they can add text, they can give information if there is a sign informing that there is video surveillance going on. If users start the page, they can see what cameras are near them. Users can trace their path through the city. You can went somewhere and see, oh, on my way from the real example, from the way to the hotel to here, we passed. How many cameras?
About 15 cameras on the way from the hotel to here.
We already loaded them up. We have a website too.
At the moment, the website only shows how many cameras have been spotted and uploaded so far, but in the future we plan to offer more statistics.
We can't show the page because this computer is not on the internet. Our idea is to combine it with gamification. People earn points if they report cameras. They can earn points if they tag cams. And of course, they should report errors. And our idea is to integrate the OpenStreetMap community So to reach more reliability.
So no questions, thanks a lot. And now it's time for Anne Hume.
Hello, we tried to build a service called Learning. It's based on the situation that what we see in the news on the news sites. Because most of the relevant news sites use targeted news. Means you get recommendations for information based on your footprint, on your profile, on what you like, on what you shop. And we think this is getting dangerous, because do we really see all the news? No. On every page you get a little view targeted on you, on your interests, on the information the companies have on you. So when it comes to political opinion making, this can get dangerous, because you don't maybe get a big view. You don't get all the information anymore. What we did is like we created a digital twin. This digital twin is running in the background at the moment on this machine, and what we do in the background is like we created a web service. We use the cookies of all major networks, so the social networks, the cookies of all major shopping sites, and we crawl all the home pages here for the meta keywords on the actual news, and we use these keywords to send out requests to Google News, to other sites. So it looks then for the companies, they collect your data that you are interested in everything, because we use every keyword which is like actually on your sites. What we think is like the biggest problem of data protection is in most of the time in front of the PC, the user. So this service needs no user interaction. It needs no installation. It needs no plugin. Nothing is running as a service. And we think it would be best if it runs in a little black box between these tables. So it blows up your profile and broaden your view in growing your footprint, and growing it and growing it, so that you maybe will see a broader view of news. So Alex can show you, there's no nifty, nicey, sparkling interface, but it's working, and Alex can show it to you.
All right, I'd like to show you a little bit of what we've done so far. All right. So, let me. what we wanted to do is to use some kind of headlines that we extracted from the N24 website. And we wanted to show that we have completely different headlines depending on the user that is currently logged in. So depending on the cookies you have in the browser and depending on your own profile. And what we are doing is some kind of
It's technical.
Alright. We're doing some kind of crawling websites with keywords, as Stefan already explained. And we want to show you that we
press the green button in the left up corner.
What you see is what's actually why we're talking is the tool doing in the background. What the tool is doing, it's sending out requests. We send out so many requests that we already get like service unavailable from Google. And blurs up all the information, blurs the information the companies have on you, because it's not any more targeted on your behavior. It's totally random. And we think this can also be a way of data protection. That's it.
Are there any questions?
The idea, just to get right, the idea would be to enable the user by, say, using this plugin in a special window or tablet or whatever, to enable the user to cross-check or compare these general results with roll-up identity with the results seen normally.
In a future user interface, you can check it and you can see what the tool is doing in the background. But the idea is there are no preferences. You have to tune. Just open it up. It runs. You have to do nothing.
It's better for all websites.
Yeah.
At least for websites with cookies for it. All websites that have cookies and use the profile are affected. And as you can see right now, we have just run the tool for 3 seconds, and the headlines are completely different right now.
We're extracting this live from the N24 recommended news widgets.
One question, the report is great, but I wonder if, as I understand you, N24 is doing these targeted custom tailored news. So would N24 promote you to implement this service on the website N24 just because they also have their contract with the admin?
Yeah, we let the business plan out of our idea. Because what he said, like a little schizophrene, to be here to talk about data protection, which is the business model of all our companies. But if it is a little black box you can buy, you don't need to do anything, then plug it in between your tables when it runs. And if you want to see what it does, maybe want to mix the interface. But you are right, I agree.
Isn't there the danger that your IP address gets blocked and called blacklisted because you send so many requests?
Yes, we started with some problems with Google when we first started to develop the tool. But we found that we can do more than 100 calls per second to all the websites, and that's not a problem. We've done this for, I think, 2 or 3 hours right now. I have no experience. Maybe that has to be. We have to find out this for longer times, but right now we do not have any info for that.
Super. Thanks a lot. And now the first is to Süddeutsche.
Mutimura? Command F1. Command F1.
1 oder
F1. Oder F1? Einfach mal die ersten 3 Sätze.
So, what we did, we did my digital derivative, as described yesterday, it's kind of looking with Walpole. And what we found is, we found a problem, as all of you did, but we wanted to find a solution also, and therefore, what we observed is that Google is in no way neutral. So they're tailor-made, you are getting the information you want, and that's fine. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So, what we want to do, we're going to try to show you. You're going to see a little demo, everything works out. So what you see is a lot of tabs are opening up, and you won't see that when the plugin is finished, but that's the basic idea. And the tabs that are opening up are tied to Google Trends API. What we wanted to do is we wanted to give you the opportunity to be undetectable. It's so how it works is it's a little plugin. It's tied to Google Trends and it runs the search automatically. It does run these searches on an hour basis. And when the thinking we had is, so you're building up a profile, and if in the second you activate the plugin, you're gone. You're gone as the person you are right now. You dive, and you become part of the mask, and therefore you be undetectable. The results are you're going to get different results. You're going to get see through the filter bubble. If I'm searching for something about Egypt, perhaps I'm going to get travel tips again, and not only say reports about the Muslim Brotherhood. I'm going to rewrite the scope. Ideally, if everything would work out, we would build up some profiles like the guys at Spiegel did. You would say, okay, 65-year-old white male, I want to be that guy, so activate the plugin. And then you're going to see the results based on that presumption. And that's the long term. And that's all. Any questions? No. Thank you very much.
So since I guess it's a good sign that there's a question. Now it's time for debate.
Our project is called F.A.Z. We don't have any slides. We just want to show you the working fluid. Our idea was that we all know that we have digital footprints by using Facebook login or Twitter Connect or Google+. But one thing we don't know, even if we surf in private mode, we have the DNS reports and stuff like that. So we will ever leave our footprints in the web. And the idea is that you should think about how you can not leave the footprints in the web, but what you can do to fake them. So we built a little Chrome extension, which we can show you now. Here it's Fleet Feed. And when you use Fleet Feed, it records all the things you do with your Chrome browser. And it looks nice. It's looking like that. So we built categories. When you surf on news websites like Bild or Well or FAZ, then you surf on social networks like Facebook, or you shop on Amazon and stuff like that. And we record that and we show you your footprint profile. And one thing is that, yeah, on one side you can reset the results, and I can show you how it works. Like if I go on, or do the then I can refresh them, and you have the new results, your actual digital footprint. And it's easy now to fake that, because we build with JavaScript, we randomize the calls and open like the top 10 Amazon products, or the top Google feed news results, or the Welt RSS feed and stuff like that. And you can see how your footprint changes over time. There you see we have now shopping links or travel links, or like research like Wikipedia, or sports like Sport 1 or Sports or Bundesliga.de and stuff like that. And now your digital footprint looks completely different from the real footprint. That's it.
So even when you never visited like Facebook before, there was already social in there.
Yeah, because we have also requests on Build.de from Facebook, and we track that. It's like a natural profile. If we could filter our Facebook, it would not look natural to us.
It's the obvious question again. Have you talked about how you talk about the business model behind it? And you guys come from the Welt and a former publishing house that is actually a number of interested in this helping, and its business models are based on gathering this data. Would you see this as an application that you could actually sell it to a user? Or?
No, it's just a prototype from the hack day. But the good thing is that it will not. We don't have problems with on one side, because we have our premium content, and we still have the same, like we have the Zahlschranke like on New York Times. So maybe there's a problem with the advertisement, but yeah, the topic of the hack day was not more like journalism, so yeah, we realigned ourselves a bit.
And surprise, surprise, I think that we might be able to have a glimpse of the F.A.Z. project.
Okay, thank you very much. We owe you to show a working demonstration. Thank you very much for making it possible to pay our debt to you.
Presentation will be done.
So now we cannot say that F.A.Z. wanted to make it easy for their team to win. So that's a very unbiased competition.
And here it is. So, this is our data digger. If I want to know what Google knows about me, I just type my name, and it starts to search on Google for the websites that have my name in it, and starts to cluster. Now, this takes some time because the text analysis is quite complicated, and you can see it working in the background and finding all the topics that are associated, in this case, with me. For example, what is quite easy to understand is that I'm connected to media and the internet, and we can find some basic sites about me here. In the background, it still works on and analyzes the further search results that it has found about me. So, and now I'm interested in why I'm associated with the FDP, because I am not a member of FDP, and I don't want to have too much to do with them because I'm a journalist. So I look at what is there on FDP, and oh, seems like they talk a little about me. And if I don't like that, I am going to click here and send my request to Google in order to have them check whether they take it out of their database or not. On the other hand, there might be some things that I like people to know. For example, the fact that once I wrote a book, I am an author, and if I want to promote this page, I can click on the Facebook symbol and promote it on Facebook. So this does not only help for me to check my own Google footprint, it also helps me to get a sense of what other people are about. So we can, for example, compare Malcolm as our jury member here. He is on Twitter. He has to do with TV and the internet, and we tried it before. Later on, we will find his name twin from the Netherlands, and the system will find the Netherlands here. So now we get quite a good sense. Marco Maas is active on the internet. We have his twin in the Netherlands, but there is another Mr. Maas in Berlin. It's Heiko Maas. And when we look for Heiko Maas, we quite quickly, even without knowing anything about him, we get a sense that he is a politician who is active in the field of rights and justice, which you can see here. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she doesn't like to be on the internet so much. So I had a look on what we found about her. And to make a long story short, we can wait for some time and nothing ever happens here. This is the only link they have found. And if she wants to get rid of this, she's going to click and click and click and send a mail to Google. And she'll hope that it will be done soon. Thank you very much.
Alright guys, so now the jury is going to deliberate, and you've got two things to do. First thing is to have a drink. Second thing is to choose your favorite team. Write a name on a bit of paper and give it to Law, and you will have a prize for an audience award.
Each team or each person?
Each person, yeah.
Oui, je t'arrête le live stream.